Hi, Dennis O'Connor from O'Connor Gallery. We're still in the midst of COVID-19, so obviously the mask to help protect everyone around us, and of course my hair, because this is proof that you're living through this pandemic and not cheating when you have hair like this. But we're in the studio of Steve Behal and Jeannie Catchpole, and this is their live-in studio. They have a beautiful loft here in Gananoque and the absolutely gorgeous Thousand Islands, and today's a truly beautiful day. But this is a space that they created so that they could constantly be in that sort of thought mode, that art mode, think about what they're doing. And in fact, here we have a section of the studio where these are all works in progress. So it gives you a little bit of a sneak peek as to some of the process that they have. But this is a working station. This is where they're going to do their work. And as we go along here, we're going to see more of the studio and beautiful high ceilings, just perfect for any artist. Incredible light. All their supplies are here, ready to go. And we're going to start our tour right here with Steve Behal. And this is called Sway. So it's a nice, it's not sway, but sway. And this is an early work by Steve. And it's, you know, it's really beautiful because this, it represents a number of things. Number one, it represents a change from oil to acrylic, because Steve, who has really earned his living as an artist in many different fashions. I mean, he's been an actor, a photographer, professionally in both cases, and he's always painted. And he always painted in oil. But this is his first sort of, if you would like to call it a transition piece. It's, for him, really sort of anemic, because Steve loves intense colors, which I think is one of his marks. But I think this one is really beautiful because even though it's not filled with color, there is just so much texture in here. And there's some beautiful markings that run through the whole painting. And you know, I think it's an excellent example of a transition piece. And this one is, I think, one of my favorites. It always helps to have a really decent frame that really sets off the whole piece. But I think that you'll see as we go along that both Steve and Jeannie have a very highly sort of sexualized background, or at least in their artwork, when they create paintings. And when you look at it, you could certainly see there's quite a bit of tension in there, despite the fact that it's very white. But you know, when you have something that is all in dark colors, it seems very radicalized. But here we have one that's all in light colors. But if you think about it, it's really the same. It's the same thing. We're not using a lot of color in this one, but there's lots of beautiful pastels. I think it's really one of Steve's best pieces. I really, really enjoy this one. And I think that anybody that has this in their home is going to be enjoying it for years to come. And from this one, we're going to take a move over to this painting, which is also an earlier piece by Steve. And it's called Invisible Woman. And now we've got more color coming in, much darker. The contrast between this one and the other one is enormous. We're dealing with a work that I think it's highly influenced, actually, if you think of Pollock or even Canada's artist, oh my goodness, I just forgot his name. That'll send me to Canadian art history hell. But it's truly beautiful. I mean, there's so much movement in it. And the Invisible Woman, if you take time to look at it, I think you can see some of the markings underneath where you do have that figure. At least I see a figure in there right now. And it's just beautiful. The layers, many layers that go on this. and chalk lines as well. And it's there. Despite the fact that we have so much paint on here, we still have light that comes in and hits you from inside the painting. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's really luscious, it's texturous, and I think very sexy. And I use that word a lot when I speak about their work, because their work is very sort of hyper-sexualized, which says a lot about them, I'm sure. But this one is, I love this. This is really wonderful. So from this, we're going to be going on to take a look at a couple of pieces by Jeannie Catchpole. They are married, and their work is wonderful. Once we've seen a couple of Jeannies, we're going to look at some work that they have created together. Thank you. How'd that work?